Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, we go over the latest with Hasbro's Unicron. There are a couple of Legends-scaled G1 Megatrons headed our way, and Hasbro Pulse is getting ready to release those San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Today is Wednesday, August 21st, 2019, and this is episode 343 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that guesses Charles just isn't going to show up today. I'm your host, Jeremy, aka Yakko. I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Yusuf, better known as Yoshi.
Yo, where's Charles?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian beast.
Hey, has anyone seen Charles? Let's talk Transformers.
Yeah, he's not quite been gone long enough to make the back of a milk carton. So, but he is on assignment at an amusement park this week. And on assignment means he's not doing nothing for the show.
Is he interviewing Megatron at Universal Studios?
No, he is not doing anything Transformers related, other than editing our show docs, before we get into it. So I guess any content you find in here, objectionable or incorrect, it's all his fault. But anyway, let's get on with the show. Before we get into our normal stuff, there's something that Mike Seibert, who we met at various TFCons, and he has his own podcast, and he tagged us and a bunch of other people on Twitter about this story from Virginia, and we wanted to kind of signal boost it and, hopefully make a kid's birthday really, really great. There was a kid in Virginia named Whitaker Weinberger, and he had a form of cancer called a neuroblastoma basically since he was a baby. He's about to turn, I believe he's about to turn 4, he's about to turn 4, and he's, in recovery from this. From the video, he looked like he was doing really good, but he loves Bumblebee. In this video from the news station WJLA, his mom said that every yellow car he sees, he says Bumblebee. So what she wants to do on his birthday on September 11th is she wants their street lined with yellow cars, so when he walks to school, it's just like Bumblebee everywhere. And that is really awesome. Unfortunately, how many of us live in Virginia? I think maybe a couple people in our audience live in Virginia.
Fewer of them own a yellow car.
Yeah, and there's that other thing too. But there's YouTuber RodimusPrimal. We'll have a link to his YouTube video in our show notes. He contacted the reporter from this the station that did the story and was like, how can other people help? And, can we send toys and stuff? So the reporter will take these donations that people send in and give them to Whitaker. And I think that's just an awesome thing. It's something that all of us can do. So we're going to have the address to send donations in the show notes. And I'd say everyone, if you can do it, send a toy, send like a gift card, something, and just kind of blow this kid's and his mom's mind. Just, show how awesome the Transformers fandom can be.
We were talking about, Jeremy, before we hit record about how we couldn't find Bumblebee in Walmarts anymore. But if people are really going to take this up and do it, you can still get the Bumblebee Christmas ornament from the Hallmark store. Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing you could do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of stuff. Like my kid is, like about a year older than this one, than Whitaker. But the Cyberverse stuff, I think, would be good. The Rescue Bot stuff is definitely age appropriate. I mean, you could even just, even get stuff like masterpiece level, just kind of as like an art piece, or maybe when he gets older, he can play with it. But I would think more age appropriate stuff would be good. But definitely, Christmas ornament. I mean, can you imagine just being a kid seeing Bumblebee on your tree? So yeah, that's cool. So again, we'll have the address here in the in the show notes, and just if you're able to send something their way and just kind of make the kids' day, because cancer, it really sucks. We've done a lot of stuff for various cancer charities with like electronic savior stuff with Jimmers and Respect the Prime and some other stuff, and anything we could do to make someone who suffered from cancer's day better, I'm all for. With that, let's go into some toy news.
All right, well, it's not Bumblebee, but we're still keeping an eye on it. This is our weekly look at Unicron and Unicron Watch 2019.
There's a watch? I want to watch.
It'd be really big.
This is just a weekly update on how the Unicron crowdfund is doing. We are currently sitting at 2,701 backers. We are currently 13 days, 2 hours, and some odd minutes, 8 minutes away. So, yeah. Still a ways off here, people.
I did the math, 52.99 left to go.
It's a ways, and it's possible. I mean, stranger things have happened, but if you're still on the fence, you got about 12 days left, 13 days left. So, yeah, might want to get in on that. Yeah, anyway, moving on to some more Unicron topics, because the news just keeps coming in on this thing. We've got another trailer for Unicron, and this is from IGN. Yeah, and it's the official Unicron trailer, biggest Transformer toy ever, and it's pretty cool. It's a lot of really neat images of Unicron and some talking with John Warden and some images from the '86 movie. It's a nice trailer. Shows a lot of comparisons with older toys or current coming out toys kind of thing, and it's really cool to see this thing in its painted up state. So we've been getting a lot of looks at it in a prototype form, but this gives a look at the painted state. So yeah, take a look at that if you're interested. And also, we've got a new feature being revealed this week, that Unicron's head comes off. Yay! We always wanted to be able to remake that part from the last scene in the '86 movie where Unicron's head pops off and everyone cheers. Well, now you can. So the very expensive Unicron toy disassembles. At least his head comes off. Also, his faceplate comes away and reveals a very creepy-looking face underneath, kind of a skeletal face. It's also, you can replace it with a damaged faceplate, so it can be, just kind of circling around Cybertron there in a damaged state. But then there's also this underneath skeletal look with, it's kind of creepy. I don't remember it ever looking like that.
It reminds me of the scene in the movie where Megatron gets upgraded.
Yeah.
That's the look the face has.
Yeah.
I just like the idea that they do have a damaged face. So, he's not always pristine. He's beat to hell pretty bad. Yeah.
I wonder if they don't make the funding if they would release just the head.
Just the head. Maybe.
Here's a Christmas topper, for your tree.
That's pretty cool though. I like this. It looks cool. I like the idea. I don't know whether Flint Dille kind of gave it away at SDCC when they were talking about it, but yeah, this was always something that if this toy didn't do, it was going to do. Somebody would have figured out a mod for it to do it because it had to do it. So, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But that's it for Unicron topics this week. Jeremy, what do you got?
San Diego Comic-Con exclusive toys. Hasbro Pulse's I said it that way for you, Yoshi. Hasbro Pulse is going to be selling them online on September 4th. But if you are in the premium, the Hasbro Pulse premium program, you will get early access on the 3rd. So this includes things like the MP10G Ecto 35 Optimus Prime, the trading card game Blaster vs. Soundwave 30th anniversary set, and the other convention pack, and the BotBots Con Crew 10-pack. If you didn't get it and you didn't have someone at the show get it for you, here's your chance.
When I become ruler of the world, I will fine companies a painful amount that use the word exclusive who haven't read the definition of the word exclusive.
Just mail them a big copy of Webster's dictionary.
Just with a sticky note pointing to...
So anyway, that's coming up. Also, I have news about Transform Element. They have a new figure, TE01E Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. And we have color images of that. This is a masterpiece scaled Optimus Prime in the purple and black colors. I don't know. I mean, this looks pretty good. It looks really just like Optimus Prime. I can't remember exactly what their regular one, like the coloring was, but we've seen so many of these. It doesn't look like there's that much metal on it at all. So I think this is all plastic. Daryl, what are your opinions on this?
I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna take a stab at the original colors being red and blue.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like the quality. And
oh yeah, I think the original quality was pretty good. The Transform Element one, there was two that came out. There was Transform Element and there was Magic Square. They both came out at the same time to kind of beat the MP44 rush.
Mm-hmm.
Off the top of my head, I can't seem to remember which one seemed to win that race, but I think it was Magic Squares. So I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on it. It's but one of them decisively has won that battle and become the new third-party Optimus Prime. So, but this is cool. It's a neat figure. Obviously, for people who like shattered glass, this is your deal. Yeah, I don't know. It looks neat. Although I'm looking at it and it's got to have a faux window then, because I'm looking at the robot mode. Or maybe they've just reversed the picture.
I think I was about to bring that up. The picture of just the cab by itself is, I think they flipped the image because the broken window is on the wrong side.
On the wrong side, yeah. So I'm looking at the same thing you are.
You can't even trust anything they do now.
I can't. Nope. This is probably just a digibash. It's probably the original. I haven't even made it yet.
I will say this does resemble MP01 a lot in terms of like how the foot is, and I don't know. I mean, how many ways can you do Optimus Prime? But
right,
Yoshi, you in the market for a purple Optimus?
I am not in the market for a purple Optimus, but I will say this: I don't think I've seen it. I've seen Shattered Glass Optimus Prime in this shade of purple, or this many other contrasting colors with the yellow waist, the red eyes, the yellow head. Like, I fucking love how this thing is colored. I absolutely, out of all of them, I love how this is colored.
They did break up everything. Like the color, the design of how they're doing it is really nice.
Yeah, I fucking dig this a lot. I mean, you're right. I mean, it looks like it's all plastic, like there's no metal, and I can't tell with the tires. So I imagine it's cheap as shit, but color-wise, I really do like the choices here. There's everything about this is screaming. If I collected this version, I would be collecting this one faster than the others because it's just. I think it's beautiful. I love. I'm a sucker for that matrixy neon green on his lights.
Yeah,
and seeing the red evil eyes of hate and the yellow in there. Oh man, I like it a lot. It's like a noir film. Especially with the legs.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like it's black and white, except for the little bits of color. All right, well, that is everything I have. Yoshi, what do you have?
Well, I'm going to talk about a couple of Megatrons here. Newage Toys is releasing a Legend-scaled G1 Megatron. We've got what I'm guessing is close to damn near final production colors and everything else. This thing looks like it's ready to go. Fully G1, fully transforms into the gun. To me, this guy is a little, he looks a little, I don't know. You could see a lot of lines where things go, especially in gun mode to me. A little bit of back kibble. But other than that, the colors are there. I think the proportions are there for a legend scaled thing. If I hadn't already had a masterpiece Megatron, I'd be looking at something like this. What are your thoughts, Daryl?
I like it. I think I'm probably leaning towards the toy-colored one beside it, but I like it. It's neat. I have a DX9 one myself. It came out a few years ago now. Yeah, there's always room for an upgraded toy, so I like it. I'm also liking how they are kind of teasing the cone heads behind them. There's like prototype cone heads there. So yeah, it's neat to see they've got a lot of stuff on the go over at Newage.
Jeremy, Daryl's making me realize what I should have done was talk about both of these and let you guys pick out your favorite. But what did you think of this guy?
I like it. The facial expression's great, and it also looks like it comes with a key to Vector Sigma, which that's a nice touch.
It's an important part if you're going to roam the galaxy.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, this looks really great. Yeah, I'm likely going to get a Legend scale figure next convention I go to, so I'll be looking for it.
So for me personally, I saved, in my opinion, the second one for last because I thought it was the better of the two. Magic Square has their Legend scale G1. This sucker's got multiple faces. It even comes with a mind control helmet. Looks great when it's transformed. It's not colored though, so we don't know exactly what the colors are going to be. Aesthetically, it looks like the cartoon. Even the back looks really, really clean. I don't think you can even say there's back kibble at all on this sucker. What do you think, Daryl?
I agree. This one's definitely better than the Newage one. It looks really good. It's obviously still prototype. You can tell because he's kind of leaning on one side. He's not exactly standing straight, but that gets all cleaned up in the final production. I like the picture of him sitting. There's a picture. They've got a version of him sitting in the throne.
That's not the throne.
Whatever. It's some
That's
kind of
Lincoln
monument.
Memorial.
It's some U.S. monument thing.
A lot of people consider Lincoln a king, Jeremy.
I like that one because it looks like he's just airing out his balls.
He's definitely bot spreading.
He's stuck on male genitalia today, Daryl.
Yeah, that's all I can see when I'm looking at that one. I'm like, he's just got his old man balls hanging out on the throne there. I think this one is definitely the best of the two. I do like all the accoutrement that it comes with. The fact that it has so many additional faces and all the parts to make the P-38, the Walther P-38, like the barrel and the shoulder thing as well. It's got all the bells and whistles, plus all the stuff for him to, in robot mode. He's got 3 additional sets of hands, the gun that he picks up to kill Optimus, the Energon sword, like the lightsaber. He's got the blade, like the jigsaw blade that comes out of his hand. I don't remember where that was from, but it's definitely from somewhere. Like you said, the mind control helmet, and then 4 faces, right? And that's just, it's great. That's a lot of stuff. This is going to be expensive for a Legend scale figure. Yeah, but I think it looks really good. And like you said, there's very little back kibble, if any, on this thing. So yeah, it's a really nice piece, and obviously similar to the Newage stuff, you get a picture with a whole bunch of prototypes in it. So you've got Soundwave and a Seeker, uncolored, so all of them, and Reflector, right? So Legend scale Reflector, and then like all the tapes, so including the little drone. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think this is a really cool looking Megatron, but it's going to be pricey.
I really did that second image with all the other figures in the background. Have they even announced those yet, or was that just a tease?
I don't remember what they've announced. There's been so many of them coming out right now, but this is probably a new announcement of all these other things. So
those all together look gorgeous, and I gotta say, like. Rumble's pile drivers look way better than what came with the Masterpiece version.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, don't expect them to be transforming out of them. Like, you'll have to add
No. But they look better. Like, in their uncolored, raw form there. I'm sure if you breathe on them all, they'll all fall apart and crumble into dust like Avengers. But it's really fucking the shit. Like, I don't buy much third-party shit, Daryl. This has got me interested hugely.
Well, I mean, just by like sheer guesstimation here, I'm gonna ballpark it at you're probably looking at about $350 worth of Legend scale figures.
And to get them all?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I was thinking just that for Soundwave.
Oh, no,
and all the tapes.
Oh, he's tiny, so I mean, like he's going to be small. So yeah, there's 7 tapes there, right? But you've also got Soundwave. So I mean, I'd put him closer to 100. If all 7 came with him, like that's a huge box. of stuff. Reflector's by himself, right? That's coming in around $70-$80. The Starscream, I assume it's Starscream. I mean, come on, that's who they make first, right? He'll be by himself, and he'll be 50, maybe 60, pushing it. Megatron is that's a big box. That's a lot of stuff there. That's pushing another $100. So,
man,
yeah.
Reflector and Soundwave might get my money though.
There you go.
So, Jeremy, now that I've talked this to death, what do you think? How much are you in it with me? Are we going to spend a lot of money?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah. I love this, and really more than anything, it's just what you guys were just talking about, all these other ones as well. Mm-hmm. And I love just the sense of scale that you get seeing all these together. I mean, it looks like they nailed that. I don't know. This is great. And then I saw the face on Megatron's arms just from the holes there. I'm like, oh, that's going to ruin it for me.
Right.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, the holes there kind of make a face. But this thing looks great. I don't know what I can add that you guys have already mentioned. You get all these extra bits and pieces and make it kind of look however you want. I think we've talked about that Lincoln Memorial seat recently. Mm-hmm. I think that plus this Megatron just be great in a display.
Can we get a third-party company to just issue out a skyscraper with Optimus Prime's arm and gun attached to it? Like that episode?
Like from Big?
No. Not a Transformer. Anyways, I'm off on topic. Anyway, that's it for, that's all I've got this week, Jeremy.
I love the fact that we're all kind of in on Old Man Balls Megatron. If you look, there's one more picture on this one here, if you see it. The one where you're kind of looking down scope on the transformed into gun mode Megatron. You see it behind them. You see like a whole bunch of Optimus, including a golden Optimus. Yeah. And a bunch of translucent figures above. Where's the picture of that? Where's that stuff? I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
Like, is that the transform element stuff? Like, what are we looking at here, boys?
That is for another post, so they can get more clicks, Daryl.
I guess.
But I guess that is it for our toy topics this week. Let's move in to trips to the store. And before we get into trips to the store, I want to mention our donations this week. 4x11GD, that is the username, that's all we have. He increased his Patreon pledge, becoming a duly appointed member of the Transmissions podcast. So thank you so much for that. And thank you to everyone else that does donate to help our show. And I would remind you that if you do donate, join our Discord. You get extra bonuses, and at certain levels, you do get to listen to us record live. Like, we do have a number of people right now listening. So thank you for that. And also, if you want to just support us, but not, you can't commit to a monthly thing. We got a great store on TeePublic, and they're having a sale, 35% off site-wide, August 21st through 25th. If you go to transmissionspodcast.com/shop, you can get $13 tees and $33 hoodies or a number of other things, 35% off. And even if it's on some other site, go through our link. That way we will get some credit for referring you, and they have tons of great stuff on TeePublic. K-Girl, who has done a number of art stuff for us, our logo, the good guy and bad guy logos that Daryl came up with, but unfortunately doesn't have the art skills to actually do much with it. She made them look great, and she has a store on TeePublic as well, teepublic.com/user/superstark, and you can get some great stuff there too.
I'm just an idea man.
Hey, you're a big picture guy.
That's right.
All right. So on to Trips to the Store. This is the segment where we show off all the awesome Transformers merch that we got this week. We do this as a video on YouTube where you can see the things we got, which we would recommend. But we also put the audio here on the podcast. So keep listening as we describe all of our stuff. And you can also then pop over to the YouTube channel later to actually see it. So without further ado, Trips to the Store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
Yoshi, we're starting with you.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Yoshi.
Before we start, I wanted to, because I know you keep having computer problems and audio issues. Did you see the post on the McAfee website this weekend?
I don't make it a point to go to the McAfee website.
So apparently, for decades, there's this virus that's been floating around called the KZeek virus that's just been sitting dormant. But every now and then it fucks with audio specifically. Now, they've renamed it the Crimzeek virus. And this is what I got, was a little Crimzeek. This is a third-party something off of eBay that was way too cheap for me not to buy 4 of them. So that's what I've got this week.
Okay. Well, cool.
And
I'm guessing it's hand-painted.
I'm thinking it is too, because it's pretty ugly. But honest to God, for what it is,
it's a little
who
cringy.
the fuck? Yeah. Who the fuck can complain?
Doesn't a figure right now come with a Crimzeek?
That's what spawned this. Like 2 weeks ago, or last time I was on the show, we talked about a figure that came with one. Mm-hmm. So I just went on eBay while we were talking, and I bought 4 of these fuckers. And then we mentioned the exclusive tapes from Hasbro Pulse, and I had to go buy those fuckers.
But they don't come back yet. So
last week or 2 weeks, whenever I was last on the show, it was a very expensive 2-hour recording session for me.
Yeah.
For a fraction of one of the tapes, you can buy like 5 of these motherfuckers. That's it.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go next. I made it to the comic shop this week. Yeah, for like the last couple weeks worth of stuff. But my Transformer haul is just 2 comics. I got Transformers number 10, cover A, which I like. I mean, I think we said there was no real bad cover last week, but neither of these characters really appear in the comic. And then I got the Ghostbusters number 3, which also cover A, part of the combination cover.
I gotta ask, because I wasn't on the show last week, did they explain why Optimus Prime is now Ghost White?
Kind of, but not really yet.
I don't think he actually got in the white mode yet, but
no.
Okay,
but there's a reason why he might.
Yeah, think of 80s, or think of like being in New York and being parked in New York. What might happen?
Okay,
so he was slightly vandalized. But I also have a toy, and this I had actually forgotten I had pre-ordered. It came in. This is the Siege War for Cybertron Alpha Strike Counterforce set. This comes with the black side swipe repaint, Slam Dance and Rain Dance and Grand Slam, which makes Slam Dance and the little weaponizer guy Trenchfoot, which is a repaint of one I already had. And this is a versus thing. I guess they have the Phantom Strike Squadron from the Decepticon side that I don't think is actually out yet. If you look here, looks like Skywarp. And
it is out.
It is? Okay. This is Slam Dance. I think this is the one where we mentioned the original toys were the opposite colors, right, Daryl?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And so I like it. I like it in combined mode better than the individual modes. The plane is a lot better than the tank. And then I got the Sideswipe, and I just decided to put all the guns on Sideswipe. Mm-hmm.
You do.
Yeah, he needs a bandolier, and he needs the Yanniger face. I'm hoping a third party makes that. Well,
the non-F has a kit that will do the bandolier plus a bunch more guns, but I don't think anybody's done the Yanniger face yet.
Yeah, I don't know how hard that would be to do, but I think that's definitely needed. But also, since I have the regular Sideswipe here, I was comparing them. If you look at like the legs and just like all the kind of scuffy paint marks in the original, and look how much better it looks with just a little bit. This is like night and day. I mean, it looks like they just kind of half-assed it. They're like, whatever, we have to put some on here. We'll just put a little bit, and that's it. It's just right there on his legs. And
those are some beautiful fucking legs right there.
Yeah, but I mean, the colors on this I think are great. I like the black, like the inverted colors here from the original toy. That is all I got. Daryl.
Jesus, Jeremy, how the fuck? You said there's no way Daryl can live up to that kind of purchase.
I know.
What the fuck?
I know. Daryl, what do you got?
I was at the Heroes this week, and I picked up a figure I'd never had before, and I'd only kind of seen it in pieces. This is Classics Astrotrain.
I got that.
He's an older figure. He's from like the early 2000s. He's kind of good. He looks decent. And I like the way that he he kind of fills out all three modes. And the robot mode actually is pretty decent as well. And the back kibble there's very, very little. Just what you'd expect. Just the rocket boosters for the spaceship mode. But I like him. He's pretty cool.
It's a really good figure. Yeah,
I like it a lot. So, yeah, like I said, I've seen this thing before, but it's usually missing his arms because they're ball jointed. It's usually pretty broken. So I was pretty stoked to find it in all in one piece, and including the gun there. So, yeah.
I don't think that'll beat what I got.
Oh, well, I
agree.
I have been told that this next two things need a story. So I have to tell the story. I did talk with a PR rep from Hasbro, and through our conversations, he offered to send me some stuff.
Hey, did you bring one for the whole class?
No, I did not.
Shipping from Canada would.
There you go. So I didn't know what they were sending me, so I just was asked for my address, and being the gullible Canadian I am, I gave it to them with no questions asked. But they sent me this BotBots Con Crew, the 10-pack. This is pretty cool. My daughter's eyeing this thing like crazy. She wants to tear it open. I'm like, it's exclusive. You're not opening up an exclusive. But yeah, this is pretty neat. It's got all the guys there in it, including the first ever BotBot Prime. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I like the names. Obviously, we've gone through this before, but it's got a lot of really fun names in here. Captain Cartridge and Jalapeno. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty fun. The box is pretty great as well. Kind of looks like a candy box. But this was just the piece to resist, like just the piece to wet my whistle, I think, because underneath in the box was one other thing, and put my earphone back in.
Hang on.
What?
Jeremy?
Yeah.
It seems like he got enough BotBots there. He could send us all a couple.
I could open it up and send a couple around, yeah.
Because it's not like... I hate BotBots. You'd be wasting it.
Hasbro's
give them away.
I should just give them away. This is the other thing that they sent me. Yeah, I was not expecting this, so thank you very much to Hasbro PR. This is the MP10G, the Ghostbusters Optimus Prime.
Nice.
Action figure comic book tie-in.
Yep. There you go.
And a wearable cosplay utility, because
it is. There are the straps. And it does go as the Proton Pack. It looks pretty good. Very, very well done packaging, people. It's pretty neat. I haven't opened it yet. There is a Slimer in there. I don't know whether you can see it. There's been a lot of pictures of it going around. We were just talking about some on the show.
Yeah, the roller looks like a trap.
Yep. It looks pretty neat. This thing looks awesome, and I love the packaging itself. But this was completely unexpected, and I'm eternally grateful to Hasbro PR for this. Hopefully coming up to Fan Expo, hopefully I can talk to some people there and get in on their Transformers panel, which they haven't had one there before, or at least for a long time anyway. So I'll go and watch that and see what's going on at Fan Expo. I'm really hoping they have Unicron there so that I can get an up close and personal look at it and see it for myself. And this is cool. I'm pretty impressed.
And maybe they'll announce that they're gonna, let Canadians pay 1-to-1 Canadian dollar to a US dollar for Unicron.
Hey, that would get me back interested for sure.
Well, that's very cool. Awesome. Well, that is it for Trips to the Store this week.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right. Now we're done with Trips to the Store, so let's go on to some convention news. In convention news this week, we have news out of Germany. The Cons convention, that's C.O.N.S. This is their 11th convention on September 8th, and they have announced that they are going to be having a favorite of our show, Jean-Paul Bove, and Jack Lawrence. Jack Lawrence obviously did Lost Light, and Jean-Paul Bove has done a number of coloring things, including what we're reviewing this week, the Transformers 84 number 0. So if you live in Germany, you can go to ntf-cons.de to pre-register now, and they're going to have things like a Transformers trading card game zone, a bunch of dealers, a cosplay contest, a Transformers quiz, and more. I think this is a fairly large convention, even though it's one day. So be sure to check that out. And if you do go and you listen to our show, let us know how it went. We also have, this has already happened. This was in Japan. It was a Transformers 35th anniversary celebration at the Sonic Festival 2019. And I just wanted to kind of mention that it happened and what happened. They had an almost complete lineup of the Beast Wars 2 figures. They had a Masterpiece Leo Convoy color prototype, the original Beast Wars 2 Leo Convoy figure, Flash Leo Convoy, a lot of Leo Convoys, the black one, basically all of them, the Lucky Draw, a bunch of stuff. But they also had some early sketches of the new one, PVC figures, and they had a whole concert of music from the various Japanese series, which I'm sure also included. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to play it. I'm sure it included that as well. Love is here. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of mention that there's the link in the show notes has a link to where you can even watch the concert on Twitch. I'm sure some of the articles are in Japanese, but if you want to see the concert, it's there. And that is it for convention news. So let's wrap up the show with a little bit of feedback.
And if you would like to leave feedback, head on over to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback. There you can leave us a voicemail, an email, a comment, a whatever type of form that you're most comfortable with. We pretty much provide it all. But this time we go to Discord, where Dinobot Maximize asks the question, do you guys feel Hasbro has finally started to step up their game with how well the third-party companies are doing? What do you think, Daryl? You're closest to the pulse of all these action figures. Do you think Hasbro is starting to one-up the third-party companies?
As far as one-upping them, I don't think they're that far yet, but they're definitely competing in the same ballpark. The most recent toy lines have definitely shown that with them producing figures that we'd never seen in modern-day Transformers for quite some time. You know, all the Headmasters and then the Power Masters, and you know where we're at right now with this interesting Siege line. The playability is still there because it's still a kids line, right? But it's incredible the characters that they're pulling from, and I think that they're really doing a great job. And as far as the competition with third parties are on another level with regards to quality. They don't have to compete with safety standards. I don't think Hasbro's really into that market that much. They have Masterpiece, but that still has to do with safety standards. Anyway. Yeah. They're definitely aware of it, and they're definitely trying to push back against the third parties with some very interesting and intricate designs.
So this question is to both of you. How soon do you think until the third-party market is flooded with Unicrons?
Next year.
What's flooded? I mean,
well, let's play the odds game. Like, odds are, I mean, if you look at Hasbro's page right now, this thing isn't going to get funded. I hope I'm wrong on this.
I would say within 2 years, we're going to see at least 2 companies coming out with the Unicron.
There's 2 right now.
Okay, I win.
And I don't. I'm not talking even the same scale that Hasbro has decided to go with. When are we going to see? Like, if a third party came out with an intricate, much smaller Unicron, I'd pick it up.
I want to see a Legend scale Unicron, where basically it's like a Voyager-sized figure or a Leader-sized figure, but, kind of it would be something that you could put with your Legend scale figures. I think that'd be fun.
Well, how about this? The question I'm posing to you, the one that Hasbro or HasLab is putting out right now is Legend scale.
Forgot we've mentioned that in the past.
It's pretty big. I mean, I don't know. There are a couple companies that are putting them out right now, or at least they've showed designs because they've probably had these designs sitting in the bag for a while. And now that HasLab's thrown this out, they're like, oh wait, we can crack this thing open too, and we've got a design, and it won't cost you, $600 US. It'll be less. But I don't know if flooded's the right word. It's just going to be an expensive toy regardless. So, worst case scenario, HasLab does not happen, then next year we'll have one on the market from a third-party company.
I feel like, and this is complete speculation and bullshit on my educated mind here, but I feel like Hasbro hasn't shown all the bells and whistles of this particular
they're saving
figure. Them. And I think some of these third parties might be waiting to see everything that this thing is capable of so that when they do come to market, they can one-up it.
No, I mean, why would they're saving it to kind of entice more people? We saw it this week with the head coming off. Right. There's more. There's more to this thing. I'm fully expecting that this thing will come with a full set of really tiny little figures that won't transform. They'll just be static, but that'll stick onto the figure in little ports. There'll be a little Galvatron, and there'll be
if anything needs a little Grimlock.
Yeah, there'll be something. There's these little figures where you can interact with the ginormous Unicron toy with these tiny little guys that'll stick on those little ports that are all over them.
Yeah, well, I mean that to me seems like the obvious and easy thing. I just wonder what is going to wow us as people who see toys every week and talk about them. Mm-hmm. It's going to bounce. This thing's going to bounce like a basketball, so you can take it to the court.
There you go. No, with me, the problem with the Unicron is just the time frame. I mean, I know how Kickstarters type things work, but still, the compressed time frame that they had here is not doing it any favors. So many fans are probably. I mean, I know people that buy tons of third-party stuff apparently either are heavily in debt or they just have, crazy disposable income. I would wager that most people that just buy mainline toys like me are more on I can't buy every single toy that comes out, so I got to pick and choose. And then suddenly this like $600 thing drops, and I'm like, there is absolutely no way I can budget for this in the time frame that you've announced it. And, if it was a thing where the Kickstarter went on through even like December, that would be a different thing for me.
It feels, to me, this is like the perfect action figure for third parties because there's no copywritten faction symbol on it. They don't have to, there's nothing to hide what it is.
Right.
It's they can make this thing look as good or better than what Hasbro puts out. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to have this conversation in 2 years.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for feedback this week, Jeremy.
All right. Before we wrap up, we will probably be announcing this more next week earlier in the show. But as a thanks to you, the listener that has listened to the entire show, we are having a new contest. We just celebrated our 6th anniversary between last episode and this episode, and we wanted to celebrate. And we figured that we wanted to know what people's favorite moments of the podcast has been in the last 6 years. This is regular show, alt mode, extra, declassified, whatever we've put out in the last 6 years. What is your favorite thing? If you go to transmissionspodcast.com/6 years, and that's the number 6 years, it'll take you to a Google form. Basically, we're asking for your name, your email, and the email is just so if you win, we can let you know. We're not going to use the email for anything else.
Shit out of you.
No, we're not going to use the email for anything else but other than to notify a winner. And let us know your favorite moment of the show. And then, not required, but if you do know like what episode it was and like about where it was in the show, that would be great, because I think it would be really cool to play some of these clips when we announce the winner. that doesn't have any influence on winning or not. It's just, it would help us. But the prizes, we have a Respect the Prime LP, the Decepticon one, which Jimmers has said is the most popular one. Like it sold much faster. And then we have a Respect the Prime Constructed Cold EP on CD. This is courtesy of Jimmers. That we bought the LP, but he donated the CD specifically to be used for prizes. So we're going to be giving away the LP, the Constructed Cold EP, and then one Transmissions T-shirt from our store of the winner's choosing, and we will ship it directly from TeePublic to the winner. And then we're going to do a few runners up that will just be getting the Constructed Cold EP CD. So we will be doing, we'll be taking entries up through the Sunday of TFCon weekend, and we will announce the winner the following week, or all the winners the following week. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what people thought was funny. Maybe it's all the weeks that I missed. So anyway,
do you have a favorite moment?
I don't know.
Mine is this one where Jeremy doesn't know what the fuck to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, probably just some of the early ones, like maybe like that first JP one where it just went on forever.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yoshi?
If I had to write down something, it would probably be, I miss doing Yoshi's lists, and I enjoyed doing those.
No one's stopping you.
I know. How about you, Daryl? What's your favorite moment?
It comes up
when Hasbro gave you some free shit?
No.
Okay.
Mine comes up every now and then. Somebody wrote it down and tweeted it at me. It reminded me of how funny it was at the time. But we had Steve Macrocranios on. He had been going on and on and on and on about something. And I corrected him. And he said, yeah, see, I said it. And I said, well, if you say enough things, you eventually get it. Right? And that was it. That was my favorite moment, because he had said it, but he had said so many things. He had talked for like 15 minutes, and he's like, see, I told you, I knew it. And I'm like, yes, you've just gone through the history of all Transformers. It's in there somewhere. Yeah.
Cool.
That was probably my favorite moment.
All right. That's awesome. So yeah, we are taking advantage of Charles being away, and we're gonna do this. So anyway, that is our show for this week. So thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Fiber.
I am going to make sure that you can never look at Rob Zombie the same way again.
I never looked at Rob Zombie to begin with, so you don't have a problem with that. That's all yours, buddy.
I wouldn't even know him if I walked right past him.
Nobody is going to stand in that way.
You'll hear his name and you'll imagine somebody jerking him off, covered in green cum.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, the parent is away. It's debauchery time today.
I have my coffee. I've only consumed about half of my cup so far.
I'm down one cup. I'm ready to start a second.
This kind of feels weird right after that, but our normal thing is to go into donations. So we would like.
You don't have to do it. You're the boss today. You can just skip over this. No one's going to be mad at you.
Yeah, let's move that to the end of the show. Mike, this is an edit point. Oh.
Either at your face or your crotch.
Depends on what night.